Is Hyperfund legit? Wow, they've got a due diligence report. So does this mean that since they're actually registered with the ASIC in the government of Australia, that they're 100% legitimate? All of that coming up in just a moment. Stay tuned. Hi, welcome to the channel. Please find that big red button, subscribe, and also click on the bell notification icon. On this channel, what I do most of the time, as per request by my viewers, to review stuff. I've been reviewing these type of opportunities like Hyperfund since 2017. Every single day on this channel, I got over 1,000 reviews on it, and pretty well everything that I predicted happened. Okay, now my viewers usually ask me to review stuff. Sometimes I find some good stuff, sometimes I find some bad stuff, but more often than not, the stuff that I reviewed and even depicted and graphically explained red flags eventually scammed out and people lost billions of dollars collectively. Okay, so make sure that doesn't happen to you. A lot of people are borrowing money from credit cards and even mortgage equity, so you don't want to lose out and miss out on this powerful information that can serve you. Okay, also please like and share this video. So due diligence report, a lot of the affiliates from Hyperfund, some of them got pissed off and they're like, hey Rory, but you never made a video on the due diligence report. Okay, now I had 2 people just come within the last few days and say, hey, talk about the due diligence report. It shows that they're 100% legit. Okay, now is that really the case? Now, when I first saw this, I'm like, holy smokes, maybe they are legit, and maybe I'm 100% wrong. But after going through all of this information, this is what I came to the conclusion of.
What kind of chuck wagon?
Hyperfund due diligence, Hypertech Group, Colin Star, Blockchain Global, Hcash Foundation, Blockchain Center. Basically everything checks out, guys. Okay, in a nutshell, what Hyperfund is trying to show is that they're 100% legitimate, right? Because they're regulated and registered by the ASIC. For those of you who don't know what the ASIC or securities is, right? A securities is basically an investment opportunity. Okay. Now a lot of the affiliates are now arguing that, hey, it's not an investment opportunity. I'm thinking, well, why did the admins of your company register with the ASIC, a securities regulator? That would mean that they're claiming it's an investment opportunity. Okay. Anyways, I don't want to, talk about too much about that. What we're talking about here is the legitimacy, the overall legitimacy of Hyperfund, excuse me, and the Hypertech Group. Now, they are indeed 100% registered basically on all of the links that I'm seeing on this page. Okay, but I'm going to still go on a limb here and say that it's meaningless. Okay, I beg to differ. Okay, now here's why. Because the main parties that I'm seeing involved here, I'll include a link to this blog post for any of those of you who want a reference to it, right? Underneath this video in the description box. So you're looking at Colin Star Capital, Blockchain Global, Hcash Foundation, Blockchain Center, etc. So the Hypertech Group of companies. Okay. Yes, they are registered with the ASIC, Australian Securities Regulator, but it's still meaningless and worthless. Okay. Here's why. Any of you guys remember Barax? Remember this scam? I'm going to type in Pope, Susan Pope. Remember this pretty lady, right? Half of the people that are promoting Hyperfund right now were promoting Barracks. Half of them were promoting Qubit Life. It's another scheme that Exit scammed, that wasn't registered. Okay, here she is, pretty Susan Pope. Why does this have any relevance to the Hyperfund? It has 100% relevance, okay? Because it was a big smoke and mirror show. Barracks, an investment scam created by Russians who resided in Russia, who were pretending to be in Canberra, Australia, okay? And they registered with the ASIC, and they were only in name in Australia, in name only, as a shell company, okay? Now, after the exit scammed back in March of 2021, earlier this year, you know, thousands of investors lost billions of dollars, billions, collectively, with Barracks. And do you know what the ASIC issued? I'll include a link to this as well. ASIC. Suspicious website alert, Barracks.com. 16th of March 2021. After they scam exited. After they registered fraudulently and illegally with the ASIC. ASIC is alerting investors about suspicious investment opportunity. Barracks Corporation, Pty Limited. Here's the ACN number. Hypertech, Hyperfund. They have ACN numbers. They're 100% registered, just like Barracks was. Okay. The Barracks website promoted a trading platform and deposit plans offered unrealistically high guaranteed returns. Does that ring a bell for any of you Hypertech investors? Do not transfer funds or further funds to Barracks. Right? This is the website up here, asic.government.au. ASIC's concerns. Barracks promoted deposit plans that claimed investors could earn from 1.4% per day on their investments. This is guaranteed an unrealistically high rate of daily return and a warning that investment is highly speculative and high risk. Speculative and high risk. Okay. Barracks accepted crypto assets or cryptocurrencies as payment. Does this ring a bell for any of you Hyperfund investors or affiliates? Is it difficult to trace these payments and it is difficult to trace these payments, and consumers do not have the same protections as they would if they paid by other means. For example, if they paid by credit card, where a chargeback may be available. Company registration. We'll go back to the website here, ASIC, government.au. This is from who? ASIC themselves, after a Ponzi scheme somehow managed to register with them, and exit scammed and ripped a ton of investors off to the tune of what? Billions of dollars. Okay. So ASIC says company registration is not a guarantee. Well, why the heck would we register with you? It's meaningless, isn't it? Because you guys are looking for some kind of guarantee. Barracks is a registered company. Company registration does not mean a business is viable or that a business model is sound. So Hyperfund is registered with the ASIC, and then I seen some character keep coming to my video review and said, "Hey Rory, it's one of the strongest regulators in the world." Is it really? And here, guys, here's where the real problem lies. Alexa.com for the Hyperfund.com. Most of the traffic, most of these characters arguing tooth and nail are from the US and from Canada. Forget about India, okay? All kinds of stuff's happening in India. But the US and Canada and even the UK already got issued an investor fraud warning against who? The Hyperfund. What are affiliates arguing about? Oh, they showed one of our negative affiliates from South Africa who was using, some kind of crappy website, and that's what they read. No, it doesn't matter. You see, security regulation doesn't guarantee squat. Okay, you have to get registered legally by them if you want to offer an investment opportunity to the public. Okay, but even after you do, it doesn't guarantee that no one's going to lose any money if the Ponzi scheme exits scams. Okay, now they're not registered with the SEC in the United States. Now, based on what I'm seeing, how people are promoting Hyperfund, pretty well they're going to get eventually a fraud warning from the SEC. And the SEC doesn't screw around. Okay, once they got their claws into your company, they usually start in Texas. We even seen it with BitConnect and USI Tech when I reviewed those Ponzi schemes. After they got issues with Texas Securities Board in the US with the SEC, was game over. The company, they themselves pulled the plug. Okay, so as it stands currently, Hyperfund registration with the ASIC doesn't mean jack. It's just, a cock and bull story. They are indeed registered, but as you saw with your own eyes from the ASIC themselves, they don't guarantee nothing. Okay, so if Hyperfund is 100% legit, that would mean that they need to register from every single country wherever anyone invests from. That means if people are investing their hard-earned money, hoping that they're going to get rich quick with Hyperfund from the US, Hyperfund needs to register with the SEC. They need to register with the Canadian authorities, right? They need to register legally with the FCA in the UK, which they still are not. And they actually got a fraud warning. So what's going to happen with this here, they're going to eventually get more fraud warnings. What are the admins doing? Well, they're not registering legally with anyone outside of Australia. So as an example, if you are in the US or Canada and you're investing, it means illegal for Canada and the US. That means FBI could get involved, right? RCMP could be called to investigate any network marketers promoting in the US or Canada or any other jurisdiction that where Hyperfund is not legally registered, since they're only registered in Australia. And then it seems like just shell companies. Sounds like another Barracks and Wiseling going to happen all over again. So let me get to a quick conclusion, okay? So you can see, coming from the ASIC themselves, registration with them does not ensure that investors will not get scammed. ASIC allowed the Russian Ponzi scheme called Barracks that originated in Russia, that was not even physically operating out of Australia, to register with them. Then once Barracks exit scammed and investors lost billions collectively, ASIC covers their own butt and issues a bullshit investors fraud warning after people lost a ton of money. Hyperfund is a Ponzi scheme that shows no evidence of any revenue outside of network marketing recruitment. There's nothing wrong with network marketing, but there is something wrong when all the network marketers are telling their prospects, aka victims, that you guys can make passive income as an investment and you don't have to refer a single soul. All you got to do is join through my referral link. And now it's getting pretty bad. They're going, admins, what are they doing? Instead of registering with the SEC or Canadian regulator or the FCA, they're brushing it all under the rug. And they're like, oh, affiliates, do not use the word investment. It's not an investment opportunity. So if it's not an investment opportunity, what the hell is it? Because why did they do all this work to register with the ASIC, which is an overseer government body in Australia that, governs investment opportunities? It's mind-boggling. Okay. Now, before I go, let's close off with an idea. Okay. Ponzi scheme. There's no outside revenue, proof of any revenue outside of network marketing recruitment. With Hyperfund, what am I seeing? I'm seeing blockchain technology, right? Big words, right? All kinds of big words on their website. Strongest rocket, blockchain finance, right? But there's not showing any proof of anything other, the revenue is what matters here to pay the investors. Okay. Now, what is a Ponzi scheme? I'm thinking some people don't know. Okay, let's say you get a group of network marketers telling a bunch of other people that, hey, you guys can make ROI, right? And we've got all kinds of trading and ecosystem and blockchain and technology and fintech, right? But they're not proving anything. They just got a website. You got a website, you got some admins on one end, on the other end of the spectrum, you got some affiliates. And the admins are like, hey, affiliates, go out there and do the work and do the advertising, and we're going to reward you with referral commissions. Okay. Now, at the end of the day, you got one group of people working for a group of admins for referral commissions because they think it's low-hanging fruit, meaning investors. Everyone's open to investing because we're in, pandemic and people are not thinking clearly and everyone's desperate. Oh, it's like, taking candy from a baby, right? I used, a lot of network marketers were promoting lotions, potions, and pills in the past, and they could not, for the life of them, figure out how to get enough qualified prospects into their sales funnels. Most of them didn't even know what a sales funnel was. Some still don't. And they failed because they just couldn't get enough people, targeted people, lined up that it's actually a match for what they were offering. So now, the world of crypto and passive Forex come in. And hey, we can just create a company. We don't have to have any real products. We got a website here and we just talk about products. We talk about crypto. We talk about blockchain. We talk about a lot of stuff. And we even talk about legitimacy with the ASIC. But at the end of the day, what is a Ponzi scheme?
It's a fraud. Basically just a big Ponzi scheme.
What's a Ponzi scheme?
Welcome back. So, network marketing recruitment, okay? At the end of the day, that's what you're looking at with Hyperfund, okay? Now with Hyperfund, once recruitment dries up, once withdrawals start exceeding deposits, right? And once they start getting more fraud warnings from like the SEC and its equivalent worldwide, what's going to happen with Hyperfund? It will end in collapse, just like Barack's did. Most investors will lose most of the money, and the owners will run off with the lion's share of everyone's funds paid in crypto. It's a mathematical certainty. Okay, so there you have it. That's my conclusion with this Hyperfund due diligence report. It's pretty well it in a nutshell. It's still not legit, guys. Sorry to say. Okay. If you enjoyed this content, also remember, subscribe, click bell notification icon. You don't want to miss out on this helpful information that could serve you. Okay. Also, if you're looking for something legit and you're tired of exit scam, you can check out my #1 affiliate marketing program and education training platform. Lucrative opportunity, legitimately set up, been around for over 5 years, legally in business, owned by an 18-year-old company. Okay, brick and mortar company based out of Florida, Tallahassee, Florida. Okay, and the owners, they don't hide behind the scenes. Okay, 100% legal, legit, set up for the long term. It's not a passive MLM where, you could just join and get magic monopoly money. It's real income that you can earn, right? And we can also teach you how to become a marketer, how to put yourself out there, how to generate website traffic, teach you about sales funnels, how to scale stuff up, how to write your own paycheck. If you learn this stuff for the rest of your lives, get access to my #1 recommended opportunity to earn a full-time income online. First link underneath this video. Anyways, thanks for joining me today. I will see you on the next one.